Okay, I'll wait for a few seconds for everyone to connect. I did a previous video, but I wasn't able to see your chat. Now, as I mentioned in the previous video, I am going to connect a link inside the community. That is because a lot of crown chakra has been coming up. Yes, I can see the chat now. Thank God for that. I feel like I'm talking to myself. If I'm going to do that, I might as well just pre-record and upload. Now, things on my side of the fence are gradually sorting out. Children are back at school, trying to sort daycare, and then we can get back to work as usual. A lot of you will be finalising things. Definitely with the Aries moon, it's been a deep time of meditation. Now, some of you, if you've been feeling like the evil eye is on you, a lot of, like I said, the 12th, well, it is technically like the 12th house, has been coming through. I do feel it is connected to Neptune. And I'm also feeling, if you guys in your ascension symptoms have been quite low, it's very much like channeling. So what you do tend to find is if you're channeling and feeling counterparts energy, and they're directly feeling low, your ascension symptoms are feeling quite low. If you stay in that frequency for a long time, you are open to spiritual attack, okay? So you try the normal tools, but at times it gets so deep that you actually need to take a next step. I did share a link with Giggle because in 2018, I believe, I was going through a similar thing. And look, each part of your journey is going to be quite unique. And I was also mentioning in your twin flame path, when you're unaware you're a twin, you naturally go through the process of detachment. You reach this state where you're accepting things, you're releasing. It's very different when you're in awareness of the journey because, and I wouldn't say it's ego, it's this knowingness of the connection, but at the same time, it does become more difficult to detach. When you are detaching from things, it will naturally occur, but it is more complicated and definitely more work doing that detachment because the closer to union you get, your ascension symptoms, your empath aspect of things, it's like you're becoming an ascended master because you're tapping into your psychic abilities, you're interconnected. At times you can think, hey, maybe I'm not a TF due to the fact that you empathically can feel other people's energy. That's also because you're developing your gift further, but you're trying to balance it at the same time. But when you're feeling the energy, if it is very heavy, you very quickly need to detach from it, breathe it out, and get back to business. Try and occupy yourself. But when it is very heavy, you will need to have a jinn removal. Okay, so I'll put the link in the community tab for you guys to look at it. And it's there's different videos you can look at, but it is because of your spiritual awakening and your gifts being developed. I have also been asked if I help people with developing their gift. Yes, if you want aspects of that coming through in a read, you can definitely book a read and I can help you develop your gift. Now, a few signs this morning came through and I was seeing 5s. Now, I am seeing a change coming through. I'm also seeing that the Scorpion moon is preparing for that change. How it looks you might not like, but it is moving it. And 9 times out of 10, when there are things that are changing, our ego is telling us that how is that creating a solution? It is, but it's a bit like, how do I explain it? I explained this to a lady yesterday. When you plant a tree somewhere, your intent is it's going to grow. Yet naturally, in a most unlikely location, a tree can grow and it's growing very quick. It's Mother Nature actually knowing what's best at times. But a lot of times, we tend to feel that we know best. And that's even in my path. A lot of times I've been through that process. And when similar things occur and you feel you can't move forward and you don't quite know why, sometimes it's that you're much further ahead, twin flame connection and energy update. Other times it's you're too ahead, okay, and there's nothing you need to do. Focus the energy back onto you. And you do find when you do have communication with TF, and things do move, and you are at the end stage of your journey, which there's no real end. It's just different stages. But once you do reach union, there is work that you need to do. And I do feel in 2020, anywhere between now and 2020, a lot of you guys, thanks, Giggle, will actually be probably reaching out for more readings to understand the process. So a lot of what you've learned is a bit like you've gone to school. You're developing that aspect inside yourself, but then there's the test factor, which is in a 3D way. And you're having to apply all of what you learnt to the situation. Okay. To the situation. And it's like passing. You need to pass. So when you find yourself actually dealing with counterparts and you're getting triggered, defer the energy back onto yourself, okay? Now, a lot of you are feeling and very confused as to why there's no communication. A lot of you are purging that energy, and this is more for those of you who are in absolutely no communication. The communication is not there for you to be punished, but that is crowning your energy at the moment. And again, with the 12th house energy activated and your third eye and the crown chakra, which I'm going to pull chakra cards. And again, my throat chakra, since I've been tuning into the read all morning, as I said, I had appointments this morning. It's been quite froggy. So I would believe that's to do with the shadow of Mercury, but the energy of the communication that potentially can come through, even during Mercury retrograde, hi Dale, will more be very deep conversations, okay? So try not to take it personal if it is quite deep in the conversation level. But at the moment, you know, when we talk about communication, a lot of you might be feeling, it's number 9, okay? So the card in communication is 9. When you see 9, it does relate to hermit mode. Some of you may be trying to focus on yourselves, get things done at home. Others of you may feel that you've been put in the corner and you're wondering what on earth is happening. Again, it's what's crowning your energy. Some of you feel as though you're wanting to have a better way of doing things within this connection. You're also wanting better, and you're wondering whether that's even potentially possible. This is to do with the lower chakras as well. So 9 times out of 10, you find when we are in retrograde seasons, especially spiritually with Uranus in retrograde and Taurus, we're assessing those areas, and it's peaking moving into November, December. Now, yes, there's aspects being made in January as well, and it is an amp up of that. So it is going to feel quite fast-paced energy. In a pleasure sense, you're wondering if this is even a potential. So with this lack of communication coming in, some of you might feel quite disillusioned by what is going on. But also, if you can step away, you directly will know that you know there will be communication, but your mind is wondering why. But you're also, it's like a spiritual walking. You're walking into an energy where you know you need more. So you're seeing the beauty and the potential in the connection. You also know that certain things would need to change. Some of you are even reaching closure on that level where you feel maybe that doesn't even need to be so. Now, we do have the High Priestess card. And again, I am seeing a lot of 12th house energy, psychic energy coming through. Some of you, psychic attacks. Others of you even feeling as though there could be an energy around that is pending. And when I say pending, it's almost like a bit like when you're going over a hill and it's like this, you know, anxious energy of something on its way. Very interesting. Some of you might be feeling something is wrong. You may even be feeling there is something wrong with Counterpart, that there's something going down. It's a vibration. It's not that you're hearing anything as per se. It's more you're feeling something. There's a hunch energy. You're also reflecting on the lack of communication in the past and gaining gaining insight into it about how that made you feel. You've got communication twice in reverse. I'm going to pull a clarifier on this because I feel as though there is a message coming through with it. Now, I did also see a lot of fives this morning, and I also saw the Joker, which is linked to the Fool card, which is a leap of faith. And I do recall close to the time where I had communication with, I was seeing the Joker around quite a bit. Also with the birds, again, is interlinked to your 12th house, your psychic abilities, the other side. And I'm also seeing the 30th, the end of the month, really being quite important for communication coming through. Others of you, your guides are actually helping you and they're trying to give you messages. But potentially you may have a lot of downloads coming through, so it's causing issues with your third eye. Okay, what is this energy of communication in reverse? Okay, I feel this is in relation to the past. Now, in the past, you might have been reflecting back and feeling like you were quite trapped. Some of you might have been feeling as though you really didn't want to reach out because the communication needs to be both ways. So some of you are purging that aspect. You know that they are as unstuck as you are. Yes, there are things they're dealing with. And a lot of the energy of the purging that feminine has gone through, masculine's energy is very, very, when I say very 3D, the karmic related dynamics in which they're dealing with is more 3D related, yet a lot of the karmic related dynamics were for the feminines 5D related. You know, you were very, you really grabbed onto your spirituality to help you out of those situations. Some of you, your inner power was coming up where you had to own it. The masculines realize that there is a blockage in this path. They're also looking back to the situation of their blocks and their fears. They know what these things are, and they know it can't stay like that forever. It's really in their energy where they're doing the same as you. They're reflecting back and looking at that dynamic. They're also, at the heart of it, they have great temptation towards you, but they're holding back, and it feels more for protection. They also can see a dynamic on their side of the fence that they're trying to deal with, that they don't want to bring that residue energy towards you. Some of you, yeah, that they know that you're the one. They have great temptation for you, but they're trying to clean up shop. They're wondering whether you are grounded enough to actually be moved towards. They also feel as though there needs to be healing in this connection. So they're quite cautious with it. I can't say guilt. Caution. Yeah, I just feel caution. Now, there is an area around them where they do feel quite, they know that this won't go on forever, number one. They also feel as though this way it has been for a while needs to be healed. They are going to come forward and communicate with you and be quite honest, but you're going to need to be grounded enough to be able to be open and hear what they have to say. It can't change the past, but it can change the future. And I do feel, again, this card breaks down to a 4. This is in relation to 2020 moving forward. So it is about the future and then moving into a movement of moving away from these energies. I'm going to pull some cards to find out what this is in relation to. I'll pull chakra cards first. What are the areas that are blocking divine masculine? Okay, now I'm being shown that at the moment, in the past, what crowns them again is communication. In the past, they have been very slow to communicate because they have really been punished energetically through various people, various energies. It could be at work, could have been through family, where the caution with their throat chakra has been, it gets misinterpreted. They know that this has been taking a long time, and this is to do with them feeling comfortable in expressing their truth. especially connected to divine feminine. It is a number 3 card, especially to do with what they feel they're most passionate about. So again, they have that as their crowning energy in reverse. When it comes to all this communication, there's a lot of communication cards on the table. They're trying to explain the reasons why they have been like that in the past. I do feel when they did speak their truth, there were intervals where they were punished for their truth, or it was communicated incorrectly towards you. This was also due to past tense people who they had connections with, and it was a learned situation. Now, they're faced with a choice at the moment. When it does come to this communication moving forward, they know they're looking forward, okay? And again, whenever I'm saying the 8s, I am linking in with the spiritual connection. That they know that this is a very, very deep spiritual connection. They also know that this has been going on for a while. When they're looking at the road sign, again, it almost reminds me, what's that painting? This horse reminds me, and we're moving into the Aries energy with Mars and Planet of War. It's Napoleon on his horse, which is a dark horse, sort of like Liberty leading the people, but going into battle and moving forward and battling ahead. And they really have made that choice to physically move forward. They're looking at the darkness of the past and knowing that the only way forward is to move away from these dark energies. They know that you're waiting for them. They can feel the energy around, and they don't want to give you any nasty surprises. So they're trying to come correct. They're trying to leave these obstacles behind them. Okay, what do we need to know? Many of them in the past feel as though they actually invested incorrectly. And again, that they were too focused on financial related aspects. And this has been something coming up that they were quite, for several months, and probably from the beginning of the year, there was an energy where a lot of the masculines were trying to gain their abundance, gain their financial balance. It's a number 14. Now, whenever I'm saying 144 or 411, again, it is connected to their spiritual path. But they're also regressing back and looking at it and understanding that the finances doesn't necessarily protect them from any future hurdles. So they're looking back on that and they're seeing the error of that belief system. Some of them may be quite balanced now in their financial domain and also looking more at the spiritual connections of what they want. They're learning a lesson connected to this. They're also learning that they had put energy into separate scenarios. Yes, they did learn quite a bit through those scenarios. And I'm getting a huge ring in my ear. But at the same time, they felt they couldn't be raw, authentic, and communicate with these people. Now, at the heart of it, they've got compassion in reverse. They've got a healing of the heart. They feel they were quite unfair to the spiritual path with you moving forward. They do feel that you are their connection. And again, it's a number 9 card. Okay. They're completing a heart clearing. Now, I feel this Aries moon is really helping them, and especially since we have Aries and Chiron with the heart chakra activation. Chiron is actually directly linked to your higher heart, okay? So the green coming through with the lotus flower, it's in reverse. The card breaks down to a 10, completing a cycle. They're in their minds about this clearing and this healing, and they're seeing and understanding that it's been something that has been holding them back too long. And again, I'm hearing Pluto. There's a skeleton on the desk directly next to this masculine energy. There's also the Leo, which is, again, on my side of the fence, looking at this card, it's actually looking to the future. So the strength that they're going to have to move forward with the skeleton, leaving something behind with Pluto and Saturn, it's helping them leave this behind and clear that frequency. Now, with the 9 coming through again, they're meditating upon how to directly relate to you in a more spiritual, grounded way. It is also with the lower chakras, a way in which, with their healing, them healing their chakras, but they're doing it in a very different way. Knowing that they do actually have the power to change and heal this connection between you and them. There also could be a person, if they do have a karmic, they're seeing the truth of who that person is. Many, I do feel, have detached from that energy. Again, it doesn't have to be, especially when you're getting the 3 of Swords. The energy can be kin, it can be children, it can be a work colleague, a mere blockage in their chakra. It can be many things. So, you know, in a read, especially when you're listening to any of them, tune into what you're directly feeling. You need to be grounded to be able to actually see that energy without it triggering you. So the best time to tune into that and to ask your higher consciousness is when you're quite grounded and you've had your purge. Again, I told you they're in hermit mode. Okay, so, and this is temporary. Now, from September, they've been thinking about this. Told you, 9s, whenever I'm saying 9s, hermit mode. The relationship with you, they're feminine with the inverted triangle down. They know the connection. They know they want to correct it. They know they need to take their power back because their power is from the lower chakras. And it's healthy that, you know, we haven't really had any third eye cards. So at the moment, I'm happy with that because it means they've removed the ego. They're seeing things for what it really is. And a lot of the healing is coming from the heart and their lower chakras of their power moving forward. And, you know, the lower chakra cards have all come upright apart from one, which is their direct passion for you. The passion energy is very high at the moment. So if you've been getting that, yes, it is. Okay, now, how many in the house that are having direct communication at the moment? Any shape or form? Got to keep an eye on the time because I've got to go to the shop and send shop orders. Yes, it can be a person, place, or thing. Sort of. Okay. Okay. Part of you might feel as though there is an energy, and I feel this is on both sides of the fence. Those of you in communication or not communication, but I'll read what's coming through for those of you in communication. There's compassion reverse, and again, I'm seeing the higher heart. With the circle being here, Chiron and Aries, it's in reverse. And there is, you know, there's a bit of heart chakra clearing to do with your wounds, but it's your energy. You may be feeling empathically both parties' energy at the same time, but you're healing that energy of your power connected to your wounds and trying to defer the energy back onto yourself. And both energies of in communication or not are going through that. Walking your truth is in reverse. So some of you feel, some of you may be on the fence. Do you move on? Tune in with yourself. Walk your truth. If you're not, you're going to hurt yourself, okay? If you're still thinking of your twin and you're thinking of another, you need to pick your path. We're really running out of time between now and 2020. We need to pick a path, or the universe is going to pick it for us. And a lot of the tower moments that are going to happen between now and the end of the year are due to the eclipses that we went through previously. So if we are on the incorrect path, the energy will be shifting us to correct that path. And I am feeling a lot of things are still going to start coming to the surface. There's a lot of Scorpion energy coming through in the next few months. So Scorpion's really good for digging to the truth, but having that deeper, meaningful conversations, both with our heart, our truth, sourcing things out. And it's really unique that it's during a Mercury retrograde. So one could say that we are going to be reflecting back over our communication, our movement, the way we've been operating. Again, with Neptune retrograde, our delusions and illusions are going to come to the forefront. We're really going to see what those things are, and we're really going to anchor our energy into what is now our physical reality, because some of those things now have changed. With Pluto and Saturn moving forward, it's still helping support that. So it's helping us be supported to move forward. Don't feel you're being left behind, but there is an adjustment coming through with those of you in and out of communication regardless. Okay, potentially I do feel for those of you in communication, and I'll go back to both, so don't think it's over for those of you in no communication. Now, your counterpart is coming through as mature. This is who they are. It might not look like it. They may be trying to protect you from certain scenarios they're directly dealing with, okay? So if it doesn't look as though they're coming to you correctly, be mindful, especially with the communication in reverse coming up. Oh, I don't have that problem. I do not have that problem. It's not just the direct words, it is also their actions. Okay, so a lot of communication, 90% of it is body language, and if you're physically not seeing them, there are things behind the scene going on that you're unaware of. What are these things? An ending. Okay, so they're trying to come correct. I'm going to have to message him. I'll be right there. Yeah. Twin. No use. No, there's no use in running because, yeah, I think if you've been on the journey as long as some of us dinosaurs have been, you understand that you just don't. Go and listen to the Beyonce song, Running. And when you come to that spiritual piece, you'll realize it's futile. You've got to check in with yourself. You'll know what's right. If you're directly attracting other individuals, there's a healing in an anchoring energy for you to come to peace with what your needs are. So that energy will come to your life. If you can anchor that energy and separate without another person, you can purge that very quickly and fast track your journey. If you're needing that confirmation from an external source, that person's energy will come into your life, but it can complicate things because the energy of twin will come back in. It is part of your growth. Everything that happens does happen for a reason. Now, what they're trying to achieve, they know who they are. They're trying to protect you. They're building on their energy, right? They're trying to bring this ending towards an old situation. And at the heart of it, suddenly something's going to happen where they're going to have a change of plans, okay? Now, this change of plans, what is it in relation to? Making more room in their life. It can be leaving something behind, having to physically walk away from a scenario. And again, I'm going to pull another card. Okay, what is this in relation to? And it will be different for all of you, but whatever this room is, it might be space from a person, it might be leaving a job. But again, I do see the urn on a table, and it does feel like an ending of something because something has been going on so long. They're having to physically walk away from it. They're wanting new people in their life, okay? And again, they're trying to not be their own worst enemy. So they're just being truthful to themselves. And I do feel if they can own their power in an area of their life where they felt quite stuck, I do feel they're just moving forward, even though they know in the back of their mind there is this pending ending coming up. They don't know how it's going to go. They do feel to a degree some of it is out of their control. But at the same time, they're trying to proceed forward and make room, but they're being flexible they're not sitting on the fence. They're being flexible to things that can change very quickly. They're being very critical towards themselves, but they're also being critical towards a karmic frequency that just hasn't transformed. So they're being mindful of that factor. Yeah, they don't want to stay in that lower frequency. They're moving forward and they're absolutely tired of it. Okay, let's get back to dual energy of both in communication and no communication. What deck am I going to use? What do we need to know? What do we need to be prepared for? Okay, their energy is coming up straight away. A judgment is going to be made. They're wanting to take this connection to the next level. They also are looking at connections they're directly linked in with and really reassessing that. Okay, they're coming forward as the King of Cups. They do want this with you, right? That knowing that they're going to have to make a judgment based on this. It's going to be a wake-up call. So again, when I'm seeing this energy, it does feel like a Libran energy. The scales, judgment. This can be court-related dynamics, can be paperwork-related dynamics coming up. Again, the wheel has come up as a clarifier, and it can be due to a family-related dynamic, okay? So this can be a family-related dynamic. We've got the nodes in Cancer and Capricorn. All of these subject matters in our lives collectively. Hi, Andrew. Thank you very much. Are coming up in a very big way to end these cycles. Now, yes, in an egoic way, it can trigger the person. But I do feel if they've been doing the right thing for themselves energetically and moving forward, this is going to come up. And it may feel as though with the judgment energy coming through, it like I mentioned at the beginning of the read, it may not feel it's in our better path. But at the same time, oh God, what is he, won lotto or something? How many phone calls is that, Google? How many phone calls is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. I haven't even got my makeup on today. Okay. Thank you. 3. Yeah, but there was 1 here and it was silent, so that was 4. Any message to me? Okay, they're wanting to... He's right on time. That's 5 phone calls. Maybe there is an energy of change. I'm shitting myself now. I'm telling you, I feel some karmic energy around. Be prepared, y'all. Like, I'm serious. This judgment card, I have been picking up for 2 months. I'm working. Are you dead? You can work. Okay. They're wanting to take this to the next level. Okay. They also feel that there is a person in their midst who is really trying to rob them. Okay. They're also trying to balance their finances out. They're working very hard. They know how this is going to go, though. They're waiting. They're aware of this. They're making good choices and they're prepared for what's going down. Now, I'm going to love you and leave her, and I'm going to have to come back. Do be mindful that there is an energy, a darker energy around at the moment. So go and look at the video that Giggle put up. I'll try and put that in the community tab as well. If you are needing a private booking, book it now, because I have all of November and December videos to do. Hopefully the daycare is going to be sorted and I can get all of these live sessions back on track. I'm also going to do an update very soon, again, for the Zodiac signs, and I'll be back. I hope you're all fine. Thank you for attending. Thank you for putting your comments in, liking, sharing, and subscribing. I really do appreciate it. It helps our community grow. I'm not gone. I'm still here, just like you guys. I'm trying to balance things out, and yeah, I've had a lot of paperwork, but it's getting there. That's okay, Justine. Take care, Dale. All of you who have been with me for 3 years, I love you. All of you have been with me for a year, I love you too, and a week and a day. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.